So just over 2 years ago, I released my Attack on Titan fan game. And since then, I've released a bunch of updates to the game completely for free for you guys to hopefully enjoy, which I think you have. But I'll be honest, I wasn't completely too happy with how it was looking and playing. So I decided to do something pretty crazy and basically remake the whole game from scratch. Now this process took quite a long time considering that I'm working full-time on Mecha Attack. By the way, you can now go wishlist the game on Steam, so please check that out, link in description. But I had to completely rethink how I was going to make the game to make it better than what it currently already is. So what I did is I made a list of the main criticisms that you guys had for the game. 1, the ODM gear felt too snappy, unresponsive. There was no option in the game to select other characters other than just playing Eren. The lighting in the game looked pretty flat and muddy. And Titans really weren't that threatening at all, and also not creepy enough, I mean, slightly cursed. So I went back to the drawing board and planned my attack on Titan. Sorry about that. I mean this literally, this is completely from scratch. Albeit I'm using some art assets and animations from Guedins' old cancelled fan game, which he gave out for people to use for free. You guys should also check out the game that he's working on, which will also be linked in the description. One of the main things I wanted to make sure is that grapple hooks felt more responsive. The main criticism is that it was kind of zip zap. You kind of just aim in the direction, you'll just go straight in it. Well, for some, I'm sure they like that. For a lot of other people, it didn't feel like ODM gear. They didn't feel like they were swinging around. So I decided to make the grapple hooks physics-based, which they weren't before. And now grapple hooks, when you shoot them, you can see them actually shoot out and come back to you, which is pretty cool as well. Another thing I wanted to go over was multiplayer. Multiplayer was something where a lot of people would join games and be put off by it because it was very bare bones and wasn't seamless and it was kind of a mess. And I'm sure on this new build that you guys can play, you're going to find a bunch of issues with it, but it's far better than what I released before. So in this first part of updates that I'm releasing, I decided to go for a lobby system where you basically host a server using the Epic's online services. Shout out to Fortnite, thank you very much. Where basically you host a server, players can join on you, the host of the server can kick players while you're in the lobby, you can customize which character you want, and maybe do some practice. And when everyone in the lobby is readied up, the host can start the game and you'll all be seamlessly transitioned from the lobby to a transition map to the actual game. Albeit this isn't completely tested, so knowing me, it's probably not going to work in the first build. So I just want to tell you guys that I decided to split this update into basically 4 or 5 parts. No, it's not a joke about the final season being split into multiple parts, but it basically means that it gives me more time to make sure that the final build that I actually release is one I'm proud of and one that I think has the potential to last for a long time. Because if I release a full big build full of a lot of content that I haven't been able to test because it's just me, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of issues that would need to be patched anyway. So doing this means that we can kind of increment the content I add in and then basically see from there how well does it fit in. Should I change it? Should I remove it? Is it buggy? Which I'm sure it will be, but it also puts a lot less stress on me. As of recording this video, in like the next 6 hours, I've got to go to London to fly to Malta for PlayCon to showcase Mecha Attack. And if I didn't get this build out today, you wouldn't be getting it for at least a month. So please keep that in mind when you play the build, as I'm sure there'll be some issues and some bugs. But the one thing I can say is if you play the offline modes, those will always work fine. I managed to test those. So if multiplayer isn't working right away properly and there's some issues, I'll be sure to fix them once I'm back. I've also added a bunch of different character models in. There's not actually many Attack on Titan ones in there, so I'll be adding a bunch more of those in the next updates. Like I said, it's a process. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I will catch you guys in the next video, which will more than likely be a new update. And as for all the One Piece fans, if you're still sticking around, that'll be early next year, hopefully. Thanks for watching.